Hello folks, Fuzzy Pixels here, and welcome to Green Man Gaming, and welcome to a little Let's Play of Rugby World Cup 2015, a very timely game given that the World Cup is just a few days away. Now this is the official game of the tournament. As you can see there, let's just take a look. You've got the William Webb Ellis Trophy there, and this is basically your sort of tournament career mode, I guess. It is the official setup. Everything about the tournament is spot on here. The teams themselves are sadly not licensed, so you went with a bunch of invented names, some rather humorous invented names. But you can essentially play out the Rugby World Cup. There's a training suite where you can practice, and it's worthwhile just getting to grips with the tutorial, with all of the intricacies of the control system, because unlike some of the games in the past, unlike sort of the Rugby Challenge, I suppose is the most recent one, this one really does sort of deal with the breakdown, I think, particularly well. Like when we go into game, we'll see that, but I really like the way the HB Studios and Big Ben have worked the breakdowns. There's not the intricacies in terms of backline moves that perhaps was evident in kind of the older HB Studios collaborations with EA, like Rugby 07, Rugby 08. But the breakdowns are pretty cool. Elsewhere, we're just going to do a quick run through the modes. Yeah, you can set up custom cups. If you don't want to do the World Cup, make your own cup, like the Green Cup. Just saying. That's something that you could definitely do. The Fuzzy Cup, if you really wanted to just bust out the ego, make a tournament about yourself. It's all good. As I said, you can go into the squads, you can mix up starting lineups for all of the teams in the tournament. But yeah, as you can see, Gabriel Font has never played fly half for England. We have no idea who he is. He's a mystery man. These are all mystery men, but you can change all of their sort of details. You can go in and muck about with the names, muck about with positions, and sort of recreate the authentic lineups to your heart's content. Unfortunately, as you can see, like not even Pro Evo style, they don't even look like their real life names. But go online. Google has all the answers. What we're gonna do, we're gonna jump straight into a friendly match though. We're gonna play the first game of the tournament, England versus Fiji. That's what we're gonna do. And jump in and take a little look at a few more of the game's systems. We've actually got some keys up for grabs, so stick around as well if you fancy winning a copy.
Welcome to the match. I'm Miles Harrison, and in the commentary box with me for this one is the former international Stuart Barnes. Yeah, real tingle.
So yeah, Miles Harrison and Stuart Barnes doing the commentary duties. They're not quite NBA 2K level, but they are good for amusement. And I have to say, like, I do like the presentation of this. Rugby games, they're a very, 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 very niche part of the sports games experience. But as a massive fan of rugby, as someone who used to play rugby, who used to be in the second row, it's nice to see the intricacies of a game like this done right. And right, so as we can see at the breakdown here, you end up having to find a sweet spot with the right stick. And if you try and secure the ball before then by pressing the right trigger, you'll blow up, the ref will blow up, and you'll give away a penalty. But if you can find the sweet spot, your bar grows green, then you can secure the ball with the right trigger. And I really like that system, because it can be a bit frantic, especially if the other team is getting up on, is getting their bar up, and it really makes the breakdown an area where you need precision. And yes! Haha! Bradley Yendall, yes. I suppose Ben Young's is BY, so the initials are the same.
Something special. What a try!
And that was a very Ben Youngs-esque move, I suppose. But yeah, I love what this game does with the breakdowns. Conversions are a case of stick flicking. So gone are the arrows. Now It's you pull the right stick back and then you flick it forward fast and straight. Straightness is very important.
Chance to play from here.
In the loose, things are a little bit more fluid, I suppose, than the older HBCUs games. Back in the day, so about a decade ago, I suppose, when HBCUs were actually... So it was in the wake of the England World Cup win of 2003, and us lucky fans got rugby games pretty much every year for about half a decade off the back of that, which was lovely.
Lovely hands.
And if I had one complaint about those games, it's that they were very, very clunky. They were quite stilted. This is a lot more fluid. You can do some gliding runs, as we've just seen, from Anton Webber, who is definitely Anthony Watson. Yes, so the initials are the same. Hooray! We've worked that out.
A great try. Now the conversion.
So Gabriel Font would be George Ford, although he's not black. And I messed that up. So yeah, if you don't flick forward enough, you'll screw it up like that.
Takes it from the kickoff.
So this is Joseph Horford. So that's James Haskell. Jacob Jolie, Jonathan Joseph. So the initials are the same. That's how you can work it out. That's definitely how you can work it out. I have not mastered lineouts. Time was where you just press a button and you'd kind of do both throw and jump off that one input. Now you're timing the throw with the right trigger and you're timing the jump with the left, and it gets confusing. But it's something. But I like the fact that they've made it more intricate. I like the fact that you can lose lineouts, because you never used to lose lineouts in the older games. And I like that you can lose this. And I like that actually, if you're playing another person, there is great scope for seriously stealing one another's ball on those set pieces.
Pushed it outright.
It's a decent strike there, but it's never going through the posts.
Chance to move it.
I'm impressed as well. I mean, the game uses the Rugby 15 engine, but I'm impressed as well by the sheer breadth of manoeuvres you can pull off on an individual basis on the pitch. I mean, I'm not really... there's not a huge amount you can necessarily do in terms of organising your backline and triggering really sort of involved backline set pieces. You can run scissor moves, you can do miss passes, but I mean, on an individual basis, you can punt, you can go for a drop goal, you can grubber, you can execute the up and under as well. And on top of that, if you're running an open play, you've got the side step, you can charge through tackles, or at least try to, with a sort of a forward flick. You can sell dummies, you can trigger players to go on scissoring runs behind you. And yeah, you can do simple passes, pop passes, miss passes. So there's a nice breadth in terms of tool sets that your individual players have to work with. Obviously, your backs will be a little bit faster.
Good tackle.
They'll have safer hands. They're the ones that you want sort of doing the intricate stuff, but it's nice, for example, to try and bust out a little sidestep where possible. But I like the fact that also the backlines the backlines act as you'd expect backlines to. So they will drift, gaps will open up, and it's really a case of taking your chances and hitting the gaps wherever you can. And a lot of that is helped by a lot of that is helped by the fluidity in the play. So what happened there was I tried to secure a ball in a ruck before I'd really maximised that bar, before I turned it green. And as I said, if you screw up your timing there, you will get penalised. And Fiji decided to kick to touch.
The centre.
Oh, interception!
He tackles.
Connor Longbottom, Courtney Laws. Again, diversity in options, right? So you're at the back of a ruck, you're at the back of a maul or a scrum. You can opt to ship it out, you can opt to pass it short, you can opt to run it. So a little pick up and drive from a number 8 there. set up some quick ball for our scrum half to get it out on the blind side to our number 11. And he's away.
Still theirs.
And we should be able to get this over in the corner.
From England here.
There it
It's a
is.
score for England.
That wasn't about time defending.
Dominic
That was
Hagglewood.
about overwhelming force.
Dylan Hartley's-
Magnificent muscular score. from this
Dylan
powerful
Hartley's
team.
stunt double for this game. Tricky kick. Tricky kick. We've got the wind with us. So, I'm veering left. I'm veering. Oh, heartbreaker.
Half-time and in front.
So half-time,
They can reflect on
17-0.
some very good movement in that
Not
first
bad.
half.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, the passing has been of a very high quality. They've been fizzing some very.
You can make substitutions, of course.
Across the defensive line
You
and
can
it's
switch
causing
around your
no
captain
end of
and your
problems.
kickers. I'm not sure how much of a difference changing your captain really makes, but certainly you want someone with a strong boot doing the kicking for you. Who would TW be at scrum half? I have no idea. Those might just be completely made up names at that point. Let's get Bailey Thurlborn on. You look fast, Bailey. Alright.
So the crowd just about taking their seats again for the second half.
It can be a little bit disconcerting at first if you're used to games
And taking
where
it straight away.
whenever you do any kicking, you get the arrows. That's really not the case with this game, and it can be a little bit disconcerting, especially when you're like kicking for
They
touch
move out of the
from a
road.
penalty or looking to do a rather precise up and under. But I mean, there is a little directional icon,
Just put a little bit too much into
so you're not
that.
going in completely blind.
Referee checks the
Where
gaps at
can
the
we
line
steal
out.
this? So you've really got to start that jump trigger early, because the animations of the guys in the bottom of the supports getting the jumper up into the air, that takes a while.
And it's away from the ruck. Just looking for the right
So
angle.
gaps opening up.
Into
The second row is not fast enough, but he is strong enough.
Oh, it
Yes.
curls in there, knocks him to
Well
the
done,
floor.
Grayson Penwell. Grayson Penwell. So yeah, at the back of the breakdown, you can decide which way to run it.
Passes. One of the wingers.
You basically trigger. Oh, yes, little sidestep. There it is.
They've created the space.
A little flick of the right stick, and you can do a little sidestep. The right stick is actually your best friend in this game. In open play, flicking it forward will allow you to charge an opponent, really get that shoulder in. Flicking it from side to side, that's what will help. Well, we saw it there with the sidestep. But also, a little nudge coupled with the right trigger will determine where your pass is going. So you can switch the direction of play very, very easily. And you'll notice that
Strong, firm tackle.
if we get this ruck out, you'll notice the little arrow comes up just there.
Excellent run.
Popping left, you get a little
Moves it up.
the ring appears around the player that will be receiving.
No way through.
So
Lack of discipline there.
I actually think this game does an excellent job
You just can't do that.
of God damn, they gave away another penalty.
That is
Of rendering what is
strike.
quite a
What wonderful
complex
penalty kick at goal
game.
that is.
Rugby is not a
So
simple
away we
game.
go again.
I mean, that's why it's
He
brilliant.
makes no mistake
Because
from the
there are
kickoff.
so many ways of scoring. There are so many things you can do. There are so many
That relieves the
like
pressure.
strategies and tactical things to bear in mind, and you've really got to play to your strengths as a team. And it's such a wonderful sport, but it's not simple. I don't think anyone could call it simple. But I do like the way that this game not only renders what is a rather complex play mechanic visually
The scrum half
easy, or
passes.
visually accessible at least.
Gets free.
But it feels pretty good as well. So they've crammed everything in, and the game feels pretty good as well.
Acceleration, upper body strength. Nobody was going to stop him.
It was a terrific try. 2 more points to the total if this goes over.
I mean, I think one of the... Oh, that's veering left.
You will
Just
not
about.
see a
Just
sweeter
about.
strike conversion
I mean, I think
Quite
if
brilliant.
the feeling of satisfaction is definitely there. It's definitely palpable. Like when you run in a try that's been really well worked and you split the defence with some good passing. Oh no! Screwed up the grubber. That's what you want. You want that feeling of satisfaction. And I think one of my problems with the Rugby Challenge games was that it was too chaotic. I mean, it was relatively free-flowing and open play, but it was kind of all over the place and it had very little on-field structure. And I think this is a nice middle ground between that sort of fluid chaos and the more structured but perhaps slightly stilted games that sort of HB Studios were producing back in the Rugby 0607 days. So, I think this strikes a very nice balance. I think at the centre of it all is this mechanic at the breakdown. I really like it. Because rugby is a kind of stop-start game, and it's difficult sometimes to capture what has to be an incredibly important part of the game, right? Securing the breakdown is one of the most important things that a pack of forwards can do. And I like that the simple mechanic, again, rendering the complex simple. Like, you're just finding a sweet spot with the right stick, but it does create a sense of tension and urgency, and then also giving you options for the scrum half at the back. You can do the box kick, you can pop it off to a forward, you can run yourself, you can spin it out down the line. There could be a little bit more structure perhaps in terms of how the line is set up. Because, sometimes you'll spin the ball out only to find that you've got a prop standing there, which isn't exactly what you want when you're trying to start an attacking backline move. But by and large, I'm really impressed with it. I really am.
He takes it off.
I think it's the D-pad. I think the D-pad. So I haven't been using this properly. So the D-pad does allow you to align your back slightly. We don't need it though, because here comes Bailey Thurlborn.
What do you do?
Nice one, Bailey Thurlborn.
And power. What a combination that is. Unstoppable.
Going to start a petition. Bailey Thurlborn for the actual England team.
It was a brilliant try. It deserved 7 points.
Easy conversion by Font.
Well, it gave them.
England starting out. Full time is looming. 5 minutes to go. He's breaking through.
I mean, admittedly, I've used the team. Fiji are not ranked quite as highly as England in this game.
They just need to clear this breakdown.
But again, it's all about hitting the gaps. It's all about exploiting the weaknesses in the defence. And this is a game that allows those to appear and those opportunities to appear organically, right?
The fly half chips into the gap.
Like, defenders will try and maintain their spacing a lot more on the higher difficulty levels. It is harder to break down lines of defence when you ramp the difficulty up.
Keeps possession.
But I don't know. I think HB have done a brilliant job there. I really do.
England on the attack.
Let's see if we can get one last try. Can't let the ball go dead.
Keeping the ball well here.
Go on, Yendel.
Takes him down.
For England, for the Rose.
Looks around.
There it is.
And
The number 8 is over.
A whole series of attacks. It simply had to be scored.
Fantastic phase rugby. This score was brought around by the patience and the
Hopefully
ball
Font
control
can get
of
this
the pack.
over for a
The
lovely
defenders, they
finish.
tried their hardest, but in
Splendid
the end,
stuff.
Numbers simply overwhelmed them.
So yeah, that is a little taste of Rugby World Cup 2015. I think if you're a rugby fan, you will enjoy it. I think you'll get a kick out of it. I think you'll also spend a small amount of time in the editing suite changing around player names, which is what I'm about to do right now. But I have to say, I'm impressed with the amount of detail that they managed to cram in, and it's really hard. Like, producing a decent rugby game that not only appeals to or is accessible enough to fit onto a controller or fit onto a keyboard, but feels rich and deep enough to please hardcore fans like myself. I think that's a really good thing they've done here. But yes, right, before I go, promised you guys there'd be a chance to win the game. Now, all you have to do, we're going to run it until kickoff, until England and Fiji kick off this weekend, this coming weekend. And all you got to do to be with a chance of winning is comment on the video on YouTube with who you think is going to score the first try of the tournament. Get involved. Also, let us know. Do you know what? Let us know as well who you think is going to win it eventually, because I think it's pretty open. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, folks. We'll catch you next time on Let's Play. Cheers. Bye.